once heard a comparison of teaching and other jobs, imagining a race. Imagine a marathon. So a lot of jobs are like a marathon where you are running at a pace, steady pace, and then you might get a little rest break for a week, for a mile, whatever it might be, and then you keep running and running and running. But it's gentle, it keeps going, perhaps feels relentless, but it's there. Teaching, imagine it being the same distance except you've got to sprint. So let's say you've got 8 miles where you have to sprint for the whole 8 miles and it feels never ending, relentless, it's really fast. And then you get maybe a mile break and then you've got to sprint for another 8 miles and then you get a 3-mile break. I think that's quite a good comparison. So when you're actually in the terms, it can feel really relentless, really fast, really go, go, go at all times. But that doesn't mean that you have to lose your life outside of work. I moved to London, for example, when I was in my mid-20s, and I would go out during the week all the time. I would go out to the theatre, I would go out and meet friends for drinks, and all those things can still happen. I'm now a bit older, I'm 31 now, so I'm a bit of a homebody and I don't tend to do that many things on a weeknight. I think teaching is what you make of it. Teaching is difficult because you put your whole heart into it, you put everything into it and you create a family. And I'm not saying that other jobs don't put their hearts in, I'm just saying it's different. You know, your class, whether that's a primary sort of class or whether it's a secondary form group or whether it is your classes that you see for years and years and years, you form a bond with them and you care so deeply about them and you care about them doing well, both academically and mentally, because that's a big thing with teaching, is looking after, you know, not just the academic welfare of the children in our care. And then you get to the end of the year and that family then moves on and you're still there. And it might be that they're moving on because they've actually done the GCSEs or their A-levels and they're leaving school. It could be that they're just going up to the next year, or the groups are getting mixed and so you've got a different dynamic of children the following year. And it can be really difficult to sort of wrap your head around that and to put that much heart and soul into something for it to change every year. And I think that can put a lot of stress on people and they find that difficult. There is a lot of negativity around teaching. There's also a lot of hyper positivity, which I sometimes find equally as damaging as the negativity. I think you've got to figure out what works for you. Teaching does not have to become your entire life. It does not have to take over. At the beginning, teaching will be harder. It will take longer to get to grips with the basics like planning and that sort of thing. But as you get more used to it, just like with any skill, the first time you do it, it's going to take a while. And then the more you do it, the quicker and the easier it becomes. And that's so true with teaching. But you've just got to remember that every year something new gets thrown in and it slows things down. But it is what you make of it. It can be hard, it can feel all-consuming, but ultimately you do what you need to do. I, for the last few years, have just been a class teacher because I wanted to dedicate my time to this and building my business on here and my website and things like that. And I really enjoyed just being a class teacher. But I've also been an ECT mentor, I'm being a head of a subject next year, I've been heads of subject before, and obviously taking on extra responsibilities will mean that there is more work to do, and not always you're given that time back at school. Sometimes you are, sometimes you might just be reimbursed financially, but not times. Don't get put off. I think you're going to be great. It sounds like you're really interested and that is so key. I wish you so much luck and I am so excited that you are starting this journey, and do keep in contact, do ask questions, do follow along. Really exciting, and I hope everything goes really, really well for you.